And let's cover what just happened over the weekend with the coronation of King Charles. Just again, this is all show, this is all Jesuit theater, and we are reminded what kind of Jesuit theater we are looking at right here, because one of the journalists from the Vatican, Gerard, has mentioned the following on Twitter. Check this out. It is so sad, the sad state of affairs, because this is the land of the Protestants. The Protestants were protesting against Rome, against Romanism, against popery. That's what they protested against. And like Martin Luther said, it's sola scriptura, that all we need is the scriptures. But man, oh man, is it a whole different time now. How far we have fallen. Because look at this. For the first time since the Reformation with Martin Luther, watch what he says. A Catholic bishop, Cardinal Vincent Nicholas, participated in a coronation ceremony of a British monarch. What a sad state of affairs. That shows you the total Jesuit control of the whole matter right now. All right, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. They're doing it in mystery fashion, by infiltration, by subversion, and by coercion. These people, man, it's the tentacles of Rome are all... They're rowing into the deep. All right, we're almost at the last days. Either way, look at this. For the first time since the Reformation, all right, when they protested against Romanism, all right, a Catholic bishop, Cardinal Vincent Nicholas, participated in a coronation ceremony of a British monarch and invoked a blessing, from the devil on King Charles III, that Jesuit, all right? He is a straight-up Jesuit sellout to the Vatican, all right? That great city of Revelation 17 that reigneth over the kings of the world, of the earth, I should say. But watch this. I mean, it has never been a better time to understand Revelation 17:18 about the Vatican reigning over the kings of the earth. And King Charles is no different, all right? Check this out. Cardinal Pietro Parolin, that's the second in command over there, the Secretary of State from the Vatican Holy See, all right, the unholy see, was present too and represented Pope Francis, all right? So I do have that tweet here showing us the sad state of affairs of the land of King James coming under the command of Rome with their militia, the Jesuit order. But I also have this animation here to remind you that King Charles loves the kingdom, the real kingdom of Esau over there, all right? Don't forget, the kingdom of Saudi Arabia are the 7 kings of Revelation 17. They're in the scriptures, all right? They're in the Bible. They're in the eternal record of the word of God. The kings of Saudi Arabia are the 7 kings of Revelation 17. The 8th king of Revelation 17 is Judas Iscariot, the son of perdition, that will ascend in the middle of the 70th week coming up to enter the sword-slain body of Mohammed bin Salman, or I should say the 7th king, King Mohammed. But look at this. This guy's doing his sword dance over there. Couldn't believe he even tried this. But we did have a representative from the kingdom of Esau over there, of the 7 kings of Revelation 17, show up to the coronation of it, as you could see there. But we also, like Gerard from the Vatican also mentioned, Cardinal Nicholas was over here invoking God's blessing on King Charles III at the coronation. God save the king! This is all pageantry. This is all Jesuit theater. What a farce. And listen, look at what a Jesuit smackdown we had here. We had the purple and scarlet leaders of that great city that is on 7 mountains, okay? The 7 ancient mountains of Rome are arrayed in purple and scarlet. This is the scarlet, okay? And look at in the background, IHS for the Jesuit order. These freaks, man. It shows you total Jesuit control, total absolute Jesuit control, all right? Either way, man, what a joke. All right. And I also wanted to remind you that I forgot to mention this last time on Friday, but for whatever it may be, King Charles looks to have sacrificed Princess Diana on the birthday of the beast, Prince Mohammed bin Salman. His birthday is on August 31st, and Prince Diana died on August 31st, 1997. So for whatever that's worth, I'm just going to throw that out there. All right, Prince Di, she was sacrificed by this sellout with the Saudi sword right here on the birthday of the beast. of Revelation 13 and the Prince of the Covenant, Prince Mohammed bin Salman of the 7 kings of Revelation 17. This one is the 6th one, King Salman, and here is Prince Charles at the time. And watch what it says here. Coronation puts close bonds between King Charles III and the Arab and Muslim world in the limelight, because he knows who the beast is. He knows who the 7 kings of Revelation 17 are. The kingdom of Esau over there. They're Edomites, by the way. They're children of Esau. All right. But I also wanted to let the people know out there, when you are told to count, all right, the Bible tells you to count. You're supposed to do that as a believer. The scripture gives us wisdom. That wisdom is the number of his name, equaling 666. 603 score and 6 is 666. All right. So for all those that think that King Charles is the beast, here is all the different ciphers of the practice of Gematria, of taking letters to numbers. And either with King Charles III or King Charles the third, all right? Either with king or without. Now that he's the king, you have 666 nowhere to be found. He is not the beast, okay? King Charles is a beast decoy, and he's also aiding in the devil's mystery of iniquity to bring about the kingdom of the beast, the great reset, the new world order, whatever you want to call it, all right? But he's aiding in that, but he's definitely not the beast, and he's a decoy for all these fake prophecy channels out there to be saying, oh, look at, he's the beast, he's the beast. No. I'm proving all things here. I'm showing you the number of Prince Mohammed bin Salman equaling 666. I'm telling you he's about to do a deal with Israel. That's what starts the last days, the Prince of the Covenant confirming the covenant. And you know what? He's a literal prince, all right? And he looks to be the 7th king of Revelation 17 for a short space coming up, and the body for Judas Iscariot, the son of perdition, which will enter the body of MBS after he's killed of a sword 42 months after he does the deal with Israel. But that being said, let's just take a look at this sad state of affairs, where he then takes an oath to protect the Protestant faith. And pretty much he's just bold-faced lying. All right, he's just bold-faced lying under oath. All right, he has no clue what the Protestant faith is all about, because these are all sellouts right here. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, the Vatican, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. King Charles III is another Jesuit sellout to the Vatican, that great city of Revelation 17 that reigns over the kings of the earth, via her militia, the Jesuit order, the Society of Judas. So let's take a look at the oath he took, so you can see he's a straight bold-faced liar. Either way, let's take a look.
Your Majesty, the Church established by law, whose settlement you will swear to maintain, is committed to the true profession of the gospel, and in so doing will seek to foster an environment in which peoples of all faiths and beliefs may live freely. The Coronation Oath has stood for centuries and is enshrined in law. Are you willing to take the oath?
I am willing.
Will you solemnly promise and swear to govern the peoples of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, your other realms and the territories to any of them belonging or pertaining, according to their respective laws and customs?
I solemnly promise so to do.
Will you, to your power, cause law and justice in mercy to be executed in all your judgments?
I will.
Will you, to the utmost of your power, maintain the laws of God and the true profession of the gospel? Will you, to the utmost of your power, maintain in the United Kingdom the Protestant Reformed religion established by law? Will you maintain and preserve inviolably the settlement of the Church of England and the doctrine, worship, discipline and government thereof, as by law established in England? And will you preserve unto the bishops and clergy of England and to the churches there committed to their charge all such rights and privileges as by law do or shall appertain to them or any of them.
All this I promise to do. The things which I have herebefore promised, I will perform and keep, so help me God.
Your Majesty, are you willing to make, subscribe, and declare to the statutory accession declaration oath?
I am willing. I, Charles, do solemnly and sincerely, in the presence of God, profess, testify, and declare that I am a faithful Protestant, and that I will, according to the true intent of the enactments which secure the Protestant succession to the throne, uphold and maintain the said enactments to the best of my powers according to law.
All right, as you can see there, he's clearly a liar. Okay, he's clearly a liar. All right, he really loves Islam. He should have swore upon a Quran for whatever reason. I don't even know if it was a King James Bible. All right, but it should have been a Quran. But I do want to also remind you here, with the practice of Gematria, the name the name Charles III by itself, all right, has a numerical value of 177 and 69, just like the Jesuit order of 177 and 69. When you have overlaps like that with your name, that lets me know you're most likely a Jesuit, okay? So he's another Jesuit sellout to Rome. Here he is about to do the Saudi sword dance in the kingdom of Esau, all right? And he definitely knows what the Saudi kingdom is all about, because Saudi kingdom with the practice of Gematria and prime numbers only in reverse equals 666. That's the kingdom of the beast right there. But watch what else we're also seeing here. Watch what they're saying about this coronation event as we're leading to the kingdom of the beast that is going to come to pass. Listen to me very clearly here. When MBS does the deal with Israel, they kill him 42 months after, and then he yet lives. Judas enters his body, and we are going to enter the kingdom of the beast, a one world government, religion, and currency in the right hand or forehead to buy or sell with. That is going to be pushed by the final pope, all right, the false prophet. That's going to come to pass. We're leading up to that right now, all right? It's only 3.5 years after MBS does the deal that we are in the kingdom of the beast, the global kingdom of the beast. But as we lead into that, check this out. No other coronation in the world has ever seen such widespread representation of all faiths: Christian, Anglicans, Catholics, Orthodox, Copts, and others, Muslims, Sunni and Shia, Jews, Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, and others, all united at the coronation. Yeah, because they're getting ready to worship Judas in the body of MBS. All right? And like I said, MBS with Judas in him is going to be the Al-Mahdi, the Islamic Messiah to all the billions of deceived Muslims out there. All right? And there's a person that I forgot to mention here on Friday. What we just heard of the oath was administered by this serpent, the Archbishop of the Church of Canterbury. All right, the Anglican Church of Canterbury. This is their serpent serving the Vatican, Justin Welby. But I want to show you who else he's met with. Look at who else he's met with. That guy, all right, the beast of Revelation 13 and the Prince of the Covenant from the book of Daniel. Here goes that serpent that just administered the oath to King Charles, meeting up with the beast not too long ago in 2018. And watch what he said here. Saudi crown prince commits to interfaith tolerance. Yeah, because they're about to worship Judas in his body. All right, says Anglican Church leader. All right, he said that, but watch closely when we pull back the veil with the practice of Gematria and we count the number of the beast, Prince Mohammed bin Salman. This Anglican leader, so-called, he said Saudi crown prince commits to interfaith tolerance. When you use the practice of Gematria and one of the most basic ciphers here of taking letters to numbers, what does that equal? What does that phrase equal? Saudi crown prince commits to interfaith tolerance equals the number of the beast, 666. If you think that is a coincidence, you need to go somewhere, all right? But now, let's go over and see when the beast visited this Anglican leader here as they prepare for the kingdom of the beast.
Royal Highness, very good to meet you indeed. Thank you so much for taking the trouble. Your Excellency, lovely to see you. Your Royal Highness, perhaps you could... Thank you. And may I present the Bishop of Leeds, Mr. Baines, and the Bishop of Newcastle. I think you know, this is the Pro-Vice Chancellor of Birmingham University, who has brought with him something that he will present.
So we're hugely arrived with us in the 1930s, but we very much wanted you to have the opportunity. I wonder if I could introduce you to two of my colleagues who will tell you a little bit more. Sue Worrell, who is our Director of Special Collections, and Sarah Kilroy, who is our Head of Conservation and Programming, and they can give you a little bit more about the Birmingham Corral.
Within our collection, this is obviously the most significant. We had this ceramic fragment was originally bound with another 7 pages, and it was one of our PhD researchers, together with our conservation department, who realised that we were looking at 2 separate ceramic fragments. So we had them separated, crowds. So the radiocarbon date was 645 to 545 to
568 to
645 AD. So it puts it very close to the origins of the development of the Muslim religion. And we can't say that it was necessarily, the expectation would be that it would be written very quickly afterwards. So it's an extremely significant manuscript.
There had been allegations that maybe a palimpsest, like a recycled manuscript, so that was to prove that this was a genuine manuscript from the early 7th century. Later in the year we're having something done called X-ray fluorescence, so we'll be able to look at the constituents of the inks to analyse what the ink's made of.
In the absence of Cantonese or anything else.
Your viewing of the Corral.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have from our own collection here at London.
Yes, we have a very rich library than that. So just an example of the 3 faiths crammed together in a little case we brought up here especially for this what was already a very expensive book, to have it brought over, shipped over from Venice where it had been printed, but where most of the copies had actually been burned, been destroyed. The early interest began in the 17th century onwards in both 15th century from India, which was presented to Archbishop Mann in the 19th century.
So let me tell you, by the way, do you think this is all a coincidence that they're all meeting up together? I mean, these people meet certain people at certain times. I do want to bring to your attention again something that I have found with the practice of Gematria, with taking Mohammed bin Salman and the Latin name for the Pope of Franciscus, because Latin is the official language for Rome. And in the scriptures, the 2 beasts of Revelation 13 are later told to us to be the beast and the false prophet. All right. It's looking to be that Mohammed bin Salman is the first beast from the Red Sea, and the Jesuit Pope is the second beast from the earth. All right. The false prophet that's going to aid the first beast pretty soon when they meet up, and we are going to see Revelation 13 in front of our eyes. All right. But with the practice of Gematria of the Sumerian cipher, Mohammed bin Salman equals 942. And in the reverse Sumerian cipher, Franciscans equals 942. You might ask yourself, 942 is not 666, but it is 666 in base 12 duodecimal counting. All right. So again, you have to do a little digging, but you'll see that number. MBS has that number twice. To Prince Mohammed bin Salman with prime numbers only, that's 666. Mohammed bin Salman is 942. That's 666. He has that name twice. And my father tells me that when God does something twice, it is established, and he will bring it to pass shortly. All right. Don't forget that. When God does something twice, it's established. All right. And This man right here with the Vatican title, His Holiness Pope Francis, that equals 666, and Franciscus equals 942. And by the way, Jorge Mario, that equals 666. I mean, this guy's too much, man. Again, I now want to show you, we just looked at a clip with that serpent from the Anglican Church. By the way, they also wear the little dog collar. They look like Catholic priests as well, all right? Either way, it's pretty obvious that they serve the Vatican. It's all been subverted probably a long time ago, all right? But boy, oh boy, how far we have fallen since the time of King James. But again, look at this. Here goes the Jesuit Pope with that serpent, Welby. His name is Justin Welby from the Anglican Church. And I read to you from Revelation 13, speaking about the false prophet. And I beheld another beast, the second beast of Revelation 13, coming up out of the earth. All right. The other one's from the sea. The second one is from the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb. He calls himself the Vicar of Christ and the Holy Father. Get out of here. All right. That's why, again, Revelation 17 says that the woman is a city arrayed in purple and scarlet like the bishops and the cardinals on 7 mountains and full of names of blasphemy. One of the biggest names of blasphemy any man can bestow upon themselves is Holy Father. That is what the Lord Jesus Christ called his Father in heaven. That's the Holy Father, not on earth. Okay, he wasn't talking about a pope coming up. But watch this. And look, we're going to see about how this Jesuit pope spake as a dragon. Watch how he speaks as a dragon. We're going to cover a couple different things that this Jesuit Pope says, and let's see if you could keep up with how crafty the Jesuits are. You got to be on your A game to see how crafty these Jesuit serpents are. But again, let's take a look at how the Anglican leader has already met with both the first beast and the second beast. Check this out.
They are walking a path together, and it is not always an easy one. But today, a celebration of 50 years since a crucial turning point in relations between the Anglican and Roman Catholic churches. The previous 400 marked by animosity and suspicion after Henry VIII broke from Rome to found the Church of England.
The Archbishop of Canterbury and Pope Francis are hoping that this evening will herald a new era of Christian unity. And a driving force behind it is clearly the deep friendship between these two men, which has grown over the past 3 years since both took office.
To the echoes of choirs from Canterbury Cathedral and the Vatican Sistine Chapel, the pair shared an altar, marking the moment 50 years ago Pope Paul VI made the first formal invitation to an Archbishop of Canterbury, Michael Ramsey, to visit Rome and start a concerted effort to bring the churches back together. There are big obstacles yet, not least still the issues of women priests and homosexuality, but Vatican watchers say the transformation in relations has been remarkable.
Anglicans and Catholics, Protestants and Catholics killed each other centuries ago, and people still say, well, a religion, of course, is the source of all our problems in the world today. But it's important to focus also on the extraordinary progress that has been made over the past half century. And many people simply are not aware of the progress that has been made and the ways that Anglicans and Catholics today can pray together and can work together.
It's that practical approach these two pragmatic leaders are taking, commissioning 19 pairs of Anglican and Roman Catholic bishops tonight to work together to combat poverty and injustice.
The two of us standing in front of the Pope and the Archbishop being commissioned and being prayed over and blessed is an extraordinary sign, but also important then for us to go out and do something with it.
And I think we've spoken very honestly about what are some of the practical things we can do, working together with some of the homeless, some of the very particular issues.
And tonight, a special exchange of gifts. The Cross of Reconciliation worn by Archbishop Welby, now finding a home with Pope Francis. As the two prepare for private talks tomorrow, an emotional Archbishop of Canterbury joined us on the steps outside.
It was just such a privilege to be there, to listen to him. We're meeting tomorrow. And to know that at the heart of what this is about is it's not some kind of negotiation between two heads of corporations or anything like that. It's about the presence of Jesus Christ.
So joy and not a little relief at the end of the service tonight. Tomorrow, the next steps through history on a mission for unity. Julie Etchingham, News at 10, Rome.
You know, listen, don't forget why the Jesuits were created. They were initially created to counter-reform the Reformation after Martin Luther started saying, sola scriptura, all we need is the scriptures. We don't need Romanism, we don't need popery. But boy, oh boy, have they infiltrated, subverted, and brought it back wholly to Rome again. I mean, it's a total Jesuit smackdown at this point. But let's now go into how crafty these people are, the Jesuits, that is, okay? They are some of the most cunning, crafty bastards out there, all right? They are wolves in sheep's clothing, like the Lord warned us about. But again, let's look at some recent things that he said. Recently, the Jesuit Pope said Jesus was not a prince. As a matter of fact, he's the Prince of Peace, by the way. All right. He's the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He said Jesus was not a prince. That's one. He said that there was the failure of the cross when the Lord died on the cross for the sins of the world. He calls it the failure of the cross. He also calls it God's failure, as if God fails over here. All right. And he also likes to call out for Judas. All right. He said, Judas, where are you? Let me tell you, they are not the society of They are not the society of Jesus. They call themselves that. The Jesuits, that is. All right. The Jesuits are also known as the Society of Jesus, if you were not aware. But they're truly the Society of Judas. Here is the Jesuit Pope saying, Judas, where are you? And as I mentioned before, the Vatican title for him is His Holiness Pope Francis. And with one of the ciphers, it equals 666. And also, don't forget, I found this by no coincidence. I think this happened, okay? Pope Francis was consecrated a priest to the Roman Catholic Church, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. He was consecrated a priest 666 months after his birth. You think that's a coincidence? You better go somewhere.